So we're going to learn how to make a skin on Besiege from scratch. It's quite in depth, and you probably should need some knowledge of Max and some art program. But anyway, as Darko6977 asked me to do a tutorial, I thought I'd fulfill his request and do a tutorial. So anyway, what you're going to need is you're going to need 3ds Max. Everyone's going to need it. It's I only know how to use it. I don't know how to use Blender or anything like that. But anyway, you can download the free trial from Max. It is a 2017 version. All you need to do is put your email address in, and then it will give you a download link to an exe, which is 330 kilobytes. But on install, it can be up to 6 gig. So it can take you a while to download and install the free trial for 30 days. But it's well worth it if you want to make up some skins, and I will tell you how to do it now. So let's minimize that and we'll load up a Max. So if we search to 2017, we're going to load up Max. So while Max is initialized and loading, when you first install it, you'll have to create an account. It's free to create an account, you just need an email address pretty much, and you're well away, and then your 30 days will start. So what you need to do is you need to decide what one you are. Hold on a second, I just want to close. Nope. Right, Max is loaded up. So we need to put an original model in here so we can get the scale right and everything like that. So you need to go to your library in Steam. We then need to go into blah 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 blah. We then need to go to properties, and then local files, and then we need to go browse local files. So within these local files, when you first start up, you need to go Besiege data and then skins. Now when you first start up, you'll only have your template here. You won't have anything else. So we'll create a new file. We will call it full underscore skin underscore. I'm gonna make a rocket. So ROCK rocket TT tit. Right, so we called that. So we need to go into the template file and we need to find the rocket. Now, when you're doing this, you want to copy, you don't want to cut, otherwise you'll lose it and you'll have to regenerate the game files from Steam. So, all best. Now, what do we call it? We called it foreskin rocket shoot. We're going to paste that in there. So in this file here you have the original game object file, which is a .obj, and we also have a PNG, which is the original textures. So if we double click that, we can open up the 3D builder, which comes with Windows 10, and you can see the original skin. It looks pretty cool. So that's the main rocket, and then if we open that up, we can see this is the original texture, really high detailed. We're not going to go to that level, we're just going to do something stupidly basic. So we have that. We can close down Steam for a moment. Anyway, right, where's Steam? Let's close Steam down. No, Steam down. So drag the rocket and put it into the top viewpoint. It says top up here, you can see. So we've put the rocket in here. So the rocket is now in Max. What we need to do is we need to make sure that is centered in the world. So right click on the move and we will 0 all 3 axes. That will make it centered. So we'll base our scale on this. It doesn't have to be precise, it's just that's what we need. So for a rocket, it's a cylindrical figure. So we're going to get a cylinder and we're going to put it here, and we're going to roughly do what size it is. We can edit this in a minute, so no worries. We're then going to go to the align tool and we're going to click on the Besiege object, and we're just going to center it like that, and we're going to click OK. So it's pretty much centered to the object, but it's not centered to the world. So what we'd do is we don't want to play around with the z-axis, we just want the x and y to be 0 for now. So then that is absolutely 100% centered x and y to the world. Now down here you've got your move tool, so you move your camera. We click on the new model, click on move, and we click on this Y here, and we can drag it down and we put it roughly, doesn't have to be precise, roughly in place. Oh no, I don't want my calendar. So that is pretty good going, it's not bad. If we go up here and we took the modify tab, we can see it's height 4.5. We might try it at 5, it's too high, so maybe we will just shrink. Oh no, sorry, that's height segments. We will just move this down to here like that. So it's 4.55. So it's a bit taller, doesn't have to be. So we got our basic model there. So we're going to delete the original Besiege one. I'm just going to center this up. So now, as I've got that, I'm just going to go save this. I'm going to save it as TUT. Right, so we've got that. We've saved it just in case anything goes wrong. Suggest saving every now and again because it will go wrong at some points, and you lose all your work, and you wish you saved it. Right, so as I played with that, you've got height segments here. How many times it's sliced into different segments. So I'm just going to leave that about 6. Cap segments at the top. If you want to see a segment in the perspective, you press F4 and you will get it up. You can see here, you can see the height segments are there and the sides, but the cap segments are the top. So we don't need to worry about that because I'm doing a basic model. So once you're happy with that, you then click on from the modify, click the drop down and edit poly. So once we're in the edit poly, it brings up all these different settings, and the only ones you need to be worried about are these ones here really. You've got vertex and polygon. So when you click vertex, you get all these little dots on the screen, which is all the vertexes, and if you can select them, they will all go red. So what we're going to do is we're going to play with these vertexes and the scale uniform scale, select a uniform scale tool, so we can scale it with a triangle in proportionally, or according to an axis. So we just want to scale in proportionally because this is going to be our rocket. So we're just going to do something like this. It's not going to be a work of masterpiece. So we select the bottom ones and we want to create some sort of base for it to come out from. Something like that. And then what else can I do to it? That's pretty much it, I think. What we do is we just take these two and we will make them go in a... maybe not that one. Maybe just this one. No, we must do base, just so it's got some central on it. Then what we do is we go on select and move, and we just move these up a bit, just so it's got some sort of what's going on tonight? Just so it's got some sort of bit to it. Just gonna slot that down a bit, and then make this a bit more. And then don't really like how that is. I mean, you can play to this to your heart's content. You can add things, move things, do other things. You can do it to how you want to do it. But that's sort of like a rocket shape. It's not perfect. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go onto the polygon selection and select the base. And we're going to insert. So you click insert. This will create a. You see here. It will. Why isn't that working? That's really annoying now. Something is not right. Have I got? I don't think I haven't got cap segments on. Right, let's get rid of that a sec and let's try this again. Insert. So it shouldn't be doing that. There we go. It's where it's the properties are so small for it. It's crazy. So 2 would be absolutely fine. Now we're just going to go 2.5. No, 0.025. No, 0.25. And we click the tick. There we go. So then we can see we've created a new bit. So click that again, and we're going to go extrude. And this will move it in and out depending on where you want it to go. So you can see it's here. So we're just going to put it to there. And we're going to click the tick. Now, as you can see, it's by clicking one, I'm back on the this tool. These bits are coming out of the model. Yeah, it doesn't look very nice. So we're just going to scale that down in proportion. So it's just like that. So therefore, it's not going through the model anymore, and it's there. Okay. So that looks quite cool. It looks quite a nice rocket. What we could have done is we could have selected these and moved it around. As I said, you can play with it to your heart's content. It doesn't really matter. There you go. That's a bit different, isn't it? Yeah. So now the next thing to do is to start skinning the model once you're happy with it. There's no point doing it until you're happy with it, otherwise you'll be going over your steps over and over and over again. So when you're happy, make sure you have nothing selected on the edit poly. So it's back to basics, click back on the model, go back to a modify tab right here, and then go down to UV unwrap. You can see there's some gizmos and some lines appear. These are seam lines. So we'll be creating a new seam for these. So click on the polygon tool, click on the cylindrical, because this is the gizmo and the map which it will best fit your model. So then we just need to go fit, and it's sort of fitted it, it's gone, but it's fitted on the inside because I've only got that selected. So we need to make sure everything is selected and then go fit, and there you go, you can see it's it's not too bad, it fits the model. So once you're happy and it fits the model, we need to select bit by bit. So we'll start off with the end cone, and we'll do that, and we'll fit that to that. And we'll open the UV editor, which looks a bit daunting at first, but believe me, it's not too bad. We'll go mapping, normal mapping, and we'll just go box mapping. So there you go, we can see here is this thingy. Sometimes it bugs out and you can't click anything, so just like go 3 and then 3 again, and then you can click and move. So that is the top. So this is all the rest of the polygons you can see part of the top that we haven't sorted out yet. I'm just going to move them down here. This is the texture. This is where the texture coordinates would be. So you put the polygon in here, and that's where you're telling it the texture. It will read from the texture. So we need to make sure everything is on there correct. So this is the cap, or whatever you want to call it, the front. So we're just going to scale that down with the scale tool to about there, because we don't really need that much detail. So that's there like that. So now we need to do the rest of the model. Now the best way I found to do this is to go up here where it says material IDs, click on one, you'll get the material ID. So we select the ID, we then go down to the cylindrical map, and then we then go fit. So it fits that. Let me just bring this into view. Yeah. We then go back onto the edit UVs by either clicking open editor or going back onto the editor, and we go normal mapping again, and we go box mapping. Tick OK, and we have got something that I didn't expect, but it's there alright. So this is a bit more in depth than I was hoping for, so we may change it because it's got other bits and stuff, as you can see. So let's try box mapping no top. There we go. Box mapping no top works better for that one. It's just on the 4 sides, and we can texture that pretty easy. So the next step is, let's make that large, so I can't drag it again, so click 3, and then you can click and highlight and drag. The next thing to do is make sure these are all in order, because the last thing you want to do is not have the textures next to each other, otherwise when you come to your art program you won't be blending so well. So we click 2, or we can click it down here, which is the edge. Now you can see that this is red and it's blue, and it doesn't line up. That one should be next to this one as far as I'm concerned. Same with this one and this one and this one and that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to select 3 again, and we're just going to separate them all out, just so we have got them somewhere quite nice and workable. So we want 1. We do want 1. So we go back onto 2, or we press the edge tool, and we select this one here, and we know that this one here is second. So with that, we press 1 and make sure the magnet tool with snap toggle is on, and highlight this one here, and it all goes red where you've selected all the vertexes, and you want to click on the bottom right one, drag it over so it snaps to there. We can then see that that is the seam that joins it, and then we need to go back to 2 again to see where this one is. We know it's this one here, so we select 1 again, highlight that, click the vertex again, and the same for the last one, just to confirm it is that. That snap to there, and then we just make sure this one lines up with the bottom one, which is absolutely fine. So now we need to drag this into where our texture would be. We're just going to scale it down a little bit, not too much, and then that would be there like that. So then we've got to move on to the other bits. So this will all be the same. Let's go back up to ID, select ID. And we can, by pressing Alt, unselect anything that we want or don't want. Like this, any vertexes that we don't want, because I just want to do the back. So we're going to go back down to here, and we're going to go fit again, and it's fitted onto it. I might have something there that I didn't want. Can't see it. But we go mapping, normal mapping, we go box mapping. So there is our rear of the rocket. Again, we can't select anything, so 3, 3, and then we're just going to scale this down to about there, and we're going to put that there. So we have the back. Now I want this bit here, so I'm going to do the exact same, mapping, normal mapping, box mapping, and there's that. This time I can do it, it's a bit weird, sometimes it glitches out, other times it doesn't, so that's the rear. I'm going to pop that there, like that. And then now all we need is we need every part of this circle. One thing to make sure you've got off is, what's this one? I can't find the section, I was looking for back selected. Ignore back selection, but I can't find it, so we just keep going to make sure we haven't got any polygons that we don't want. It seems alright at the moment. Right, so mapping, normal mapping, box mapping, didn't really work. We've got two that are the wrong way around because we probably didn't fit that. We try that again. No, it wasn't. So we try a different way. Box mapping, no top, didn't work, but we can work with that. It's not too bad. I mean, let's have a look at. See, they're all symmetrical, so it's absolutely fine. Right, so what we need to do now is we need to go 3, and we need to select these. You just select these ones, and we just need to rotate them round like that, so they're all the same way. We could even do that, and then careful not to select anything else. Rotate these ones so they're the same. So it's the same principle as we did with the main bit. We need to go 2 and see what counterpart that one is. So it's that one. So with this we need to separate them out. Then 1, highlight, drag over, connect 2, select edge. It's this one. Select vertexes with 1, line it up and snap. 2, make sure it's that one. 1, vertexes, snap, and then just to confirm it is the end, and that's absolutely fine. So go back to the polygon, which is number 3, which is this one here, and we can scale that down. So that is the inside of the rocket. So that is the skinning complete. So the rocket has got its texture coordinates on. So the last thing is go back to UV editor. It's all in there. We need to go tools, render UV templates. Now you can have it on 1024, it's quite high. You can go as high as you want. It depends how detailed you want it to be. It really does. So I'm just going to leave it as default. It's probably the easiest thing to do. And I'm going to go render UV template. Now you got this. Oh, you get this image that comes up. It's quite big, like 1024 by 1024, and it's got all these seam lines and all the polygon lines on it, which are handy when you're mapping and stuff like that in your art program. Right, so we need to save this image. Right, I've got a thing to go to. I've got a shortcut that goes to my Besiege folder, so you can see here, what do we call it? Our full skin rocket. Now don't save it over that, just for now. We call it map 1, and then we save that one as a JPEG. Click save. Best, OK. So that is now done. We have finished with Max for the time being, and here is our folder here. We can then edit this map here with paint.net. Right, so we've got our texture to be texture in here. Also, I'm going to start editing it. So now what we need to do is we need to select all the black I find this is the easiest way. And then we are then going to make a new layer and fill it black. Deselect it. So then you can see here that we've got everything that we need. Now you can go and edit this, but sometimes you get seam lines and things like that, and you've got to go back into the UV template to do anything about it. So the best way that I've found is to create a new layer. This is probably the cheap shot of doing it, but it works. Highlight everything over it, and then I want to go dark grey, and then I want to fill this, but I don't. I want to add. That's the back, isn't it? So I want to add a texture gradient to it, like that. And then if you want to see how your gradient looks, you can drop it behind, and you can see how roughly it will look on the map. So then, if you're happy with that, you can add more detail. You can do as much as you want. You can go to town. There's no point me telling you how to do it. You just got to keep to those shapes, and obviously every edge here corresponds to this edge here. This edge to this edge, this edge to this edge. You can explode it differently when you're doing your UV maps to make all these join up and stuff like that, but this is probably the simplest way to do it. So now we're going to move on to the next parts, which are exactly the same. I'm not going to do it any different way. This one here, new layer. I want this to be dark grey to black, because that's the inside, and I want it to be black. So I'm going to, wrong way, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to drag that down to there like that. So then we can also do this again. There you go. So then that is behind it, but we won't save it like that. It's just for looks. So then, right, let's do that, and then we're going to select the nose cone, I believe this was, and that was the central rear. So we're going to fill that one. Create a new layer. Fill this one grey, light grey, so it matches the front. Fill this one black. Don't need to create a new layer if you don't want to, doesn't really matter. So that's black, so if I hide that you can see. And then this one here was the outer ring, I believe. We've deleted some on it, so that's why we like to keep the original back up. So you can see here I deleted that, which I should have done it, but it doesn't matter because we're going to do it this way, which means like that, and we need this one to be it is the darker grey, and we're going to fill that like that. So sorry, we need to go onto here and fill it, and then we can hide that. We put this all the way underneath, and our texture map like that. I know it's nothing brilliant, but it should be okay. You can add text to it and things like that, which I'll do quickly. I will add, let's add here, what size have we got? Let's do it 28, and we do it black, 101. So that'll do. That's absolutely fine. I don't really mind. So did I put that on that layer? I think I did, didn't I? So if I go back like that, yeah, I put it on the wrong layer, but you got the general gist of it. What I can do is I can remove the text, add a new layer, and then redo the text quickly, like that. And then I can chuck this to the back, and 101's there, but we know it's in the right place. So we're going to go file, we're going to go save as, and we're going to save it as a PNG, and we're going to call it map2. So we're going to save that and just OK it, and then flatten, and it means it's going to put all the layers in one. So what you see there is what you get pretty much. So that is how to skin really basically. I'm not going to go into depth because you can spend hours skinning and doing stuff on there, but obviously the more time you take, the better the outcome is. So let's have a look and see how that is in Max. Close down this, close down that. Let's just move this to the side, and we want that one there. So if we press F4 again, we will get rid of everything. Yeah, it's not too bad. and then literally map 2 we're going to drag over and drop on. You can see here that that's done. I mean, we could have put some lines in it and things like that. I have still got it open, but I have got flattened, so if I just Control Z that a sec, I'm just going to put that back up there. I'm just gonna quickly just put a black line. Let's add a new layer into there, and I might do one here. Let's just do that, and then just go up a bit. Oh no, about there. So I mean, you can spend absolute hours on this if you really wanted to. Oh, what's going on there? Black line. So we've got a black line on there. We're going to drop that back down there. This doesn't really matter too much. Save as, and we want PNG, and it's going to be map 2. Hopefully we better save over it. Flatten, done. So we should have our lines in it. There you go. With our 101. Doesn't make that big. So there you go. You can see that our map is, the map coordinates are okay, and everything is perfect. But sometimes when you're just going to the edges of the UV template, you get a bit of seamage, and you need to sort of go a little bit more than it. But you'll figure that out. If you just do what I did, it would be absolutely fine. One other thing is, if you're on here, you can see this. If you click on reset texture, you can actually get the map up, so you can fit it to it. You can fit the polygons to it rather than so if you've already got something you want to put on it, you can see how it looks and everything like that. Or if you've got a bit of seam where you've followed these lines in Paint.net or wherever, then you can adjust them so that you don't get any misaligned textures. But yeah, that is nicely done. So I'm just going to save that quickly. So I'm quite happy with that. What we're going to do now is, because I've got writing on it and the way I export it, you can probably do it differently, but I'm just going to mirror it quickly. I'm just going to mirror and transform x-axes. Okay, this will make sure that the text is the wrong way around on here, but when we put it into Besiege via the export, it'll be the right way. So we're going to start that export now. So we go export, we need to locate the folder that we want to export it to. Mine is in my skins, and what one was it? It was full skin tutorial. And then it's rocket, and then you want to do it as OBJ. Now, I wouldn't generally recommend overwriting it, but I've done it so many times now, it should be absolutely fine. And you've always got the backup in the template for the Besiege file. So overwrite your rocket, click save, click yes, flip. Don't create any or export materials or material libraries. Texture coordinates we want everything here. Texture coordinates normal, smoothing groups, and vertex is normal, so we don't need to write a log, there's no need. So we're going to then export that. We're then going to click done. So our model has now been exported. If I double click this rocket again and view it, it will be my rocket that I made in Max. It's not smooth, but it will do the job quite nicely. Let me just delete these files. Right, so that should all be in Besiege now. Let's oh, look at that, summer picnic sale has started on Steam. Right, so I just need to go to Besiege and load it up. One thing is that it's best to remove all the other textures from here, only other files. You only want the 2 files that you started with. I'll just copy them, haven't I? Right, so this is the map, this is original, so let's copy that file name. I'll rename that 8. This one here you need to put to your the original texture file name that it knows. I'm just going to delete them. And if you need the original textures back, you can get them from the template. It's not too bad, really. So, you know. Right, so we need to go into Besiege. So here's Besiege, we're just loading it up now. So you can see down the bottom here it is saying loads texture packs. So what we'll do, let me just move this over here. and then we will click on here. So I was trying to get the workshop open, but it's not working for some reason. So anyway, right, let's go here. We're going rockets. We need to go rockets, and there's our one there, full skin rocket. So there's our rocket. I mean, the back's not very smooth. We could have smoothed that by going down to smoothing groups and edit poly and highlighting them all and select 45 degrees smooth, but I didn't bother. So there's the one I want. It is upside down, but you could rechange that if you wanted to, but it's not really. It's just the wrong way up. It doesn't really matter for this because it's exactly the same. We just need to rotate it. So then we'll chuck that to the bottom. Let me just chuck on slow. We'll start and we'll go T. Here the rocket's gone off, and then you can see it's burning, and where we wanted it to burn, it's gone off and it explodes. So really with this you can spend as little time or as much time as you want on it. Obviously it's more than likely gonna be better if you spend more time than little time, but this is how you can get any game, any model that you want to make from Max into Besiege. It's not too hard. It's after you've done it a few times, it won't take you too long. And so what I'll quickly try and do now is, I had a bit of trouble earlier on, but I will try and upload it and show you how. So what you need to do is you need to go onto any of these, doesn't really matter. And so let's take a screenshot, because we need to take a screenshot for this. Let's just slow that down and then go T. Right, so there's my screenshot. Obviously it's not a pretty looking model, but it's there anyway. So we're F12 that, we'll take a screenshot. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to go space tab, settings, screenshots. So you can see my screenshots is loaded up here. This is the image that I've just taken. So we will then go into here, skins, click on the cog, and then we will need to find the one that we have just made, which I can't seem to find anywhere, which is a bit concerning. What did I call it? It was with underscores, wasn't it? It was full skin. Here it is. So there's our rocket. You can see it doesn't look too bad here. If you click the Steam gear and then find it again and click the Steam gear, so you can either click, this is the thumbnail for your Steam Workshop. You either keep that as it is and upload it, or you can edit it. So I'm just going to quickly edit it. Doesn't take 2 minutes. So here it is. It generates it on press of the upload a Steam Workshop. So we just need to go into here, which is paint.net. I'm going to copy that into here. I'm going to open it. I'm going to copy that then, and then I want to drag my thumbnail in and open. You can see up here, this is your open tabs. So I'm just going to paste that in there, and I want to keep it to my canvas size. I'm just going to drag that into there, and then I'm going to go File, Save. Okay. I'll minimize it. So you can see this has changed here in the thumbnail.png. Click on Besiege and it's changed again. So it's easy, it's that simple to change the texture, the thumbnail for the skin you're making. So I'm just going to upload this. Now this can take a while, it can take a few minutes, so I'm going to click upload. Only click it once, otherwise your creation can upload loads of times and it's, you got to delete them all really. When you upload to the Steam Workshop, it doesn't publish straight away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this. You can see there's a shadow here, so I'm just going to click close, and it says upload in full underscore skin underscore rocket. And it disappears. This is taking its time now to upload. There's no errors come back yet. It's just taking a little bit of time, which is a bit annoying. So we just got to wait. I've got Steam open here, and you can see that it's doing its thing. There's nothing I can do. But I'll quickly show you on here what I meant by smoothing these out. You can see they're not brilliant in here. So we'll just click on that. We'll go back to edit poly. We'll hold. Yes, you can see that. No, it's fucked. Right. So we're going to highlight all that, and then we're going to go down to here, and we're going to go auto smooth. And hopefully that might sort it out. So it's sorted out a little bit more. I mean, the more when you're creating a cylinder, so you can see my texture coordinates all mapped up. When you're creating a cylinder, you can change the sides here, so it'll be, so you can see that. So obviously, you know, a 5-sided shape is going to be more sides than a 200-sided shape. 200-sided shape, but then it's going to take more game memory and everything like that. So you know, 18 wasn't bad, but you can do it 30 if you want. It's not a bad number to do it, and it looks quite round. But I will stick to my I'll probably bugger it all up now. There we go. So we're back. Alright, let's see if it's updated yet. Hasn't updated yet. Hasn't updated on the Steam Workshop. There's no progress or no nothing, so we're just going to sit here and we're going to wait, and we're going to see what else. So I'll show you quickly what else I've made while we're waiting for this. This one here is really weird. It was one I done earlier, but it's quite cool. I deleted the skin pack and it's just gone like that. I think that's quite cool. But anyway, I made a firework rocket. I've made a cluster bomb rocket. I have made a hellfire. I've run out of room now. Hellfire rocket. But this one comes with a grabber. I want to say. Just got to find it now. There's my grabber. Here's my grabber. Hellfire rocket grabber. So this is all included in the skin pack. I'll just delete something I don't want to delete. Alright, so let's go back here. It's a bit fiddly to get on, but there you go. So it's got a grabber that actually fits the rocket, which is quite cool. I've made some Mario stuff and other things, and my USB device has just stopped working. Also made some wooden skin blocks that are quite high textured. And a double one as well. Wooden poles are a pain in the ass. There's this one here, this one there, so it's all wooden. I think I've done a hinge, wooden hinge. Oh yeah, a wooden thingy. So it still hasn't updated. This is taking some time now. Oh, hold on. I'm just on the other monitor. Just clicking all the wrong buttons that I don't mean to. For some reason it's still not uploaded, which is a bit bizarre. I don't know if they've got problems at Steam or not, but normally what it would do is it would come up here and it would it would come up like this with the workshop, and then it would come up with my files. It will come up here just like that, but it would have all my pictures there and everything like that. I don't know why it's not working. There must be something. So yeah, it's don't know what's going on. Maybe Steam has got some problems or something. And then what you would need to do is, it's not on here yet, so you would need to change the privacy so everyone can see it. I'm hoping it will work in a minute, but I don't think the files are too big really. Can't really recall. This one here. Oh, I've got it over here, so I need to go to this one. So the thumbnail is 300 kilobytes, that's 21 kilobytes, that's 280, so it's not that big, but for some reason Steam is having a... There you go, look, I've got it. So I can see it here, it says here, current visibility hidden, this will only be visible to you admins and creators, so then what you can do is when it appears you can change it here, but for some reason it's just not having it. This is my Steam. So there must be a problem somewhere. Oh yeah, and this bright brace. Oh, just done it all wrong. I don't know what else I've done. Red balloon. Yeah, I just crashed the game. Oh no, I'm on that. There you go. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, if you want to get making some skins like this, that's the basic way of how to do it. You've got no excuse not to make them now. So it's all good. And yeah, get skinning because we need more skins on the workshop, and we need more creativity, and let's just build it up. Let's make as much as we can. So happy skinning. If you've got any questions, comments, or I said something completely wrong that you know about, please let me know, because you know it's all good. And until next time, but don't forget to like and subscribe for me, and all the important things. I will paste this link into the YouTube comments for you, so you can go and get it. And also paint.net, just Google paint.net. And thank you Darko6977. Hopefully you'll make a skin up and let me know when you do. So until next time, let me just check this one more time. Still not doing it. Until next time, have fun and get creating.